Insider. Music, dramas, movies, musicals, YouTubers, and more. Anyone who is anyone in their field. The Insider of the Bunch joins us every Wednesday to share insight from the world on Insider. Today, it looks like our listeners are taking the words right out of my mouth. She's a legend, according to Brooke, but we do have lyricist 황유빈 in the studio. 안녕하세요.
안녕하세요. 반갑습니다.
네, 본인 소개 좀 부탁드릴게요.
네, 안녕하세요. 작사가 황유빈입니다. 초대해 주셔서 감사합니다.
네, 반갑습니다. All right, so we have the lyricist 황유빈 in the studio today. Like I said, our listeners are saying that she's a legend. She's a queen. Apparently, she's been writing a lot of your favorite tracks from a lot of our favorite artists. So she's written for like NCT, Super Junior, EXO, Shiny, Dio, you know. Wow, she's got a lot of them up her sleeve. So, I'm kind of curious. Like, you know, you made your debut back in 2016. 데뷔를 그때쯤 하셨죠?
네.
2016년. You've done about at least roughly, give or take, close to 40 songs. So I'm really curious, up until now, out of the close to 40 songs that you've produced, it's going to be the hardest question I ask you all day. 가장 애착이 가는 곡이 있다면, what was the most favorite out of all of them?
그게 진짜 항상 늘 힘든.
그렇죠. My baby들이 너무 많으니까요. 맞아요.
그래가지고 옛날에는 뭐 전야 이렇게 뽑았는데 요즘 가면 갈수록 새로 나오는 곡들이 제 최애가 되는 것 같아요.
제일 최근 곡.
네, 최근 곡.
그러면 최근 들어서 제일 최근 곡은 그렇다면?
그러면 NCT 드림의 퍼즐 피스.
Puzzle piece. Okay. So it looks like that for the longest time she was saying that Tanya the Eve was like her favorite track because it was really hard to choose even then because it's all her babies. But as of late, she's been noticing that, you know, the most recent songs kind of been constantly her favorites. And so I was like, so because of that, what's your favorite these days? And she's like, Puzzle Piece. And Mimi is freaking out because, yes, she is the mastermind behind Puzzle Piece. So like you've worked with tons and tons and tons and tons of artists like Mamamoo, you've got Idare, Sonia Luna, The Boys, and all these artists as well. I mean, obviously, they're seeking you out. The love call is being sent to you. So to make it even more embarrassing, give us what you think your skills are or the reason why you're constantly receiving all of these love calls.
To be honest, 제가 운이 진짜 I'm so lucky. 제가 정말 운이 너무 좋고요. 그리고 제가 말씀하셨듯이 그렇게 정상급 아이돌들과 할 그런 기회들이 저한테 뜬금없이 오다 보니까 제가 그분들한테 피해가 안 되려고 저것도 그러니까 업혀가지 않으려고 엄청 기를 쓰고 애를 써요. 머리를 엄청 많이 써서 좀 제일 좋은 거 드리려고 노력하는 편입니다.
Okay. So, yeah, she was just saying that she's super lucky. Up
That's
until
true.
now. Yeah, she's super lucky. But because she's been working with such, you know, A-lister type of artist, she's also found herself trying to raise her potential and the bar a little bit more for herself so that she can kind of match the consistency of the group itself. And so thanks to the fact that, you know, there's a name behind the artist that she's working with, she's trying to rewrite and kind of make the song as perfect as possible so that it can kind of match the artist as well. So yes, a lot of our artists are writing their own lyrics. They're writing their own songs. But of course, there's a lot nowadays. There's like so many different ways for artists to produce, and you as well as a lyricist, there's so many different ways that lyrics come together. And because of that, I mean, there's a lot of ways I think that you could take for the lyrics. So some people might be inspired by the artist. Like they need to meet the artist 100%. If not, I'm not going to write lyrics. Or there's going to be somebody who's just like, okay, fine, I'll just listen to the song and write according to the melody, or you'll get something. So how does like all of this come together for you?
저희가 막 만날 수 있는 기회들이나 이런 거는 없고 저도 좀 속내를 많이 들어보면은 좋긴 좋겠는데
그러니까요.
네네.
네.
그래서 더 원하는 딱 맞춤 하고 싶은 말을 하게 해주면 좋겠는데 그런 거보다는 저희가 그냥 그래서 그들이 하고 싶어 할 것 같은 말을 멜로디나 상황이나 그래서 저 조사를 좀 많이 해가지고 네, 제가 오히려 약간 기획하는 사람들 입장이 좀 돼보려고 많이 노력하는 것 같아요.
Okay. So yeah, she's saying that, to be honest, she would love to meet up with the artist and try to think from their perspective too. But lots of times she doesn't get a chance to actually meet up with the artist. So Mimi, I hope this answers your question. it would be great to, look from their perspective and talk with them a little bit, but she doesn't get a chance to do that as much as she would like to. So she does a lot of research. She'll look things up about them and like maybe what they've said in interviews and stuff like that to get inspiration. And then she'll work together with like the production team to try to make, be them and be in their perspective and then write something from their perspective that they think would be. If that makes sense.
A lot of guessing.
A lot of guessing, a lot of organizing and all of that. But I mean, of course, as you've worked with artists, there's got to be at least a few meetups here and there, at least during the recording process. Do you remember any of the celebrities that just kind of sticks to you?
마마무를 제가 데뷔 전부터 이렇게 어떻게 보게 되었는데, 그래서 저한테는 그 기준이 저도 초창기 때 그 연습생 작사가 데뷔하기 전에 이렇게 봤던 거라서 다들 그렇게 잘하는구나. 이렇게 후루룩 녹음하고 나오면 곡이 완성되는구나 생각했는데 그게 정말 다르더라고요. 정말 잘하는 그룹을 만나서.
그래서 오히려 나중에 다른 분들이랑 작업을 해보고 정말 마마무 분들은 잘하는 거였구나라는 생각이 들었군요.
요즘 다들 잘하시긴 잘하시는데 마마무가 특별히 좀 잘한다. 근데
이렇게 투스피드로.
네네네. 그리고 좀 아이디어들도 좋고 해서 제가 아주 운이 좋다는 게 여기서 또 드러나는데 제가 거기서 이제 기준치가 이렇게 높게 잡으니까 그런 거에 좀 맞춰가게 되는 것 같더라고요.
Okay. So she was saying that when she was working with Mamamoo, she actually had the honor of kind of seeing them before they debuted. And she feels that she was kind of spoiled by how good Mamamoo is because she's always seen the girls like really having great ideas when they're recording and then they go in, they record, they come out. It's just like, no big deal. And she noticed that, working with other artists, doesn't necessarily work just as smoothly as Mamamoo does. And so she feels that she was spoiled in that way, but she was also very privileged and very lucky because that was kind of like a high standard set for her. So every time she works with artists, that kind of becomes like the minimum for her to kind of start into some more things. Now, I've noticed in a lot of the SM artists that you've been working with, this was also in one of the videos you posted on your YouTube channel, but you were a part of Super M's Jopping. Now, I had the hardest time trying to figure out what that was at first. But apparently it was kind of given to you that way as well. So tell us a little bit about it in case nobody's seen your YouTube video.
그래서 처음에 그 저핑 들어왔었을 때는 이게 글로벌로 이거 그렇게 자세하게 알지 못했고.
그러니까 그랬다면서요. 전 작사님에게 전달이 됐을 때는 전혀 정보 없이 그냥 일단은 가사 써주세요 이러면서요. 어머.
하고 이제 좀 수정 과정 하면 한 번 더 수정해 주세요 할 때쯤 이제 더 디테일하게 이런 팀입니다라고 들어와서 그때 다시 한번 이렇구나 하면서 좀 더 고민을 했었는데 처음에는 또 한국 그 가사로 거의 위주였었는데 이게 또 나중에는 또 글로벌 팀이다 보니까
그렇죠.
영어를 그리고 또 자핑이라는 단어 자체를 원래 처음에 안 익숙하실 것 같아서 바꿔 다른 좀 주제로 갔으면 좋겠다 이렇게 하셨었는데 다시 이제 원래대로. 근데 저는 생각하기로는 이제 슈퍼엠은 그룹 자체가 굉장히 엄청 조명을 딱 받고 또
그렇죠.
멤버들이 화려한 에너지나 이런 것들을 채울 수 있는 그룹이라서 그런 자핑이라는 그 신조어를 소화할 수 있는 거의 유일한 그룹이 아닐까라고 생각해요. 그 사람들이 아니면 다른 사람들이 이걸 이해하려고 노력도 안 했을 것 같아요.
그렇죠. 그래서 신조어를 일부러 그냥 최대한 살리고 갔었군요. Okay, so yeah, fam, she actually has a video on this. So if you want to go back and check this out, you can definitely do that. But she was the lyricist behind Super M's Jopping. And apparently when she got this song, that word was already in there. And she was like, okay, so jumping in, like, popping, like, all of that is kind of going in together with the word itself. And so apparently because they're a global group, she didn't know anything about the group when she started writing the lyrics, by the way. But yeah, she was able to kind of like try to change the word from jumping to something else, but then they ended up going back with the original. Originally, there was a lot more Korean in the lyrics, but then they started putting a little bit more English in there as well to make it fit for a global team. And she's noticed that if it wasn't them, it wouldn't have been a successful new word because they had to be on that level for Jopping to actually make sense, so to speak. But if you listen to the definition of it, I'm just like, oh yeah, it's a beautiful word. It's perfect for it. Now, I would have to think that lyricists have to be as trendy as possible. Like, you need to know everything. Probably.
I'm trying.
I'm trying. So, I mean, like, on a daily basis, like, how do you get all of this information?
제가 진짜 많이 공부하고 찾아보려고 하는 타입인 것 같아요. 그래서 팬들이 많이 활동하시는 그런 커뮤니티나 혹은 뭐 SNS
네.
진짜 많이 찾아보려고 노력해요. 반응들도 또 보면은 팬분들만의 놀이 문화가 있더라고요.
그쵸?
자기들이 좋아하는 가사를 지금 떠오르는 가사를 올려주세요. 뭐 이런 것들에 대해서 막 밤에 이런 게 뜰 때가 있으면 저 천천히 찾아보고 이런 거에서 좋아하시는구나. 그래서 오히려 그런 거 하다가 제가 팬분 공부하다가 그런 것만 위한 약간 어플리케이션 이런 것도 막 준비하고 막 그렇게 됐어요.
일단 저희가 충분히 자랑하게 될 수 있을 것 같은. Okay, so yeah, she was saying that she's really trying to stay on top of trends. And so she's actually joined a lot of the fan communities just to see like what's going on, to stay on top of what the fans like. And apparently there's this new trend that fans are doing. Like they will, like in the wee hours of the morning, they'll be like, okay, write down your favorite lyric. And then like fans will start posting their favorite song lyrics, and then she'll look at those and she'll be like, oh, okay, so these are the kind of songs and lyrics that, you know, teens or the fans really like to hear. This is something that speaks to them. And so she's actually been able to kind of have that continue to make it into another branch of her career, which we're going to be talking a little bit about as well later down in the show. I've heard that... I feel that a lot of people think that lyrics, it's so easy. I mean, you can just write a little bit of words down and just sing into a song. But I've heard, and I think it was you who said it, that there's things to think about, like pronunciation. There's a lot of like scientific like outlines to think about when writing lyrics. So if, let's say, some of our listeners wanted to write some lyrics or, you know, to do so, how would they be able to do that?
처음에는 이제 가사가 먼저 시작되는 곡이 잘 없거든요.
그렇죠.
네, 보통 가이드나 데모곡이 먼저 오고 그 위에 맞춰 써야 되는 건데 이제 보통 그거를 저희 작사가들한테 맡기기 전에 되게 많이 들으세요. 많이 듣기 때문에 가이드에 익숙해져 있으시고 또 그거가 진짜 가이드라는 말이 있듯이 그게 딱 녹음할 때 가이던스거든요.
그렇죠,
그걸 듣고 이제 녹음하는 거다 보니까 그걸 잘 비슷하게 그거랑 좀 잘 맞춰서 분위기도 맞춰서 가주는 게 어떻게 보면 서로 일하기 편하게 해주는 배려의 고인 것 같아요. 그래서 하시려는 분들 있으면은 기존 뭐 팝송이 가이드랑 비슷하기 때문에 그 발음에 좀 먼저 그거에 익숙해지고 그 다음에 나중에 원하는 내용들을 좀 넣는 연습을 하시는 게 어떨까요?
그 내용은 들어가기만 하면 되는 거니까요. 이 줄에 꼭 그 단어가 안 들어가도 되는 거니까요.
그런데 저 같은 경우에는 요즘에 그냥 발음만 맞추는 거는 또 너무 좀 쉬운 일이 된다. 그렇게 되면 조금 또 완벽한 가사가 또 내용이 있어야 되는데
그렇죠.
그걸 놓치는 게 전 너무 싫어서 그래서 그거 하느라 제가 애를 쓰는 것 같아요.
그렇죠. 네. 발음도 맞춰야 되고 내용도 이어가야 되고 이러다 보니까 단어 선택이 좀 좁아지죠.
네네 맞아요.
Okay. So yeah, she says that she's a strong believer for any of our listeners who are trying to maybe get into lyric writing, because I feel a lot of you from the outside and even me, like, you know, it's just lyrics. I mean, it's not that hard. Of course it's hard. And she's always saying that pronunciation is something that a lot of lyricists need to consider so that everything works out a lot easier. So in Korea, we call demos guides because, like it's supposed to say, it's a guidance in the song. It's supposed to help guide you through the entire track. And so if you're going to write lyrics, listen to the demo as much as possible. Be really comfortable with it. And if the song producer has put a few weird different words in there, it's good to try to think of the pronunciation that they're going for, because subconsciously that's how they want the song to kind of go. And she feels that one of the challenges that she has in writing is to keep the song in a story form to get what she wants to say across, but also pay attention to pronunciation. And then the amount of words that she can use is very small. And so that she says she spends the most amount of time trying to put those pieces together. So lots of questions are coming in. A lot of our listeners are just saying like, wow, she wrote this song, wow, she wrote that song. So the more you are looking her up, the more questions are probably surfacing. So continue to send those in. We just talked about this track, so we're going to take a listen to it, and then we're going to come back and have more of our Insider in the studio. Super M is seeing me chopping, and we'll see you guys back after this with more of our Insider. K-pop and fam and all Arirang Radio listeners, it is hour 2 and we have our insider for today, the beautiful and talented Hwang Eubin in the studio. She's a lyricist and we just listened to one of the songs she was helped to master for the track, which was Super M's Jopping. And lots of questions are coming in left and right. And a lot of our listeners, Emilita and Leon, kind of have the same question involved as we're talking about songs. So I need to kind of get into how you write songs too. So I've asked this to like song producers as well. Do you have to lock yourself in a studio and work, or do you just kind of get inspired? As a lyricist, I know that you kind of have to wait for other people to do their job before you kind of do your job. So when you receive a track, do you lock yourself in a studio and work, or do you go to like a coffee shop, or do you have like a diary just for your lyrics that you write down in advance and then you use them later? How does this work?
저는 이제 왔다 갔다 하는 일이 많아가지고 제가 차나 뭐 버스나 기차나 걸어다니고 이동하면서 많이 이렇게 보는 것 같아요. 뭐가 일어나는지 이런 것들이. 그래서 NCT 127의 그 데이드림 같은 곡은 제가 걸어가다가 비둘기를 따라가면서 제가 비둘기 따라가는 것 같은 거예요.
네.
그래서 그것 때문에 뭔가 앨리스가 뭘 따라가는 그걸 연상해서 나오게 된 거예요. 그런 식으로.
오, 그럼 그런 아이디어들을 이제 뭐 가사를 약간 핸드폰에다가 말하면서 저장하시나요? 아니면 쓰시나요? 아니면
일단 머릿속에서 제가 그게 계속 익숙해져야 그게 좋은 가사라고 생각하거든요. 그래서 내가 머릿속에서 계속 생각날 수 있으면 된다고 생각해서 일단 머릿속에서 어느 정도 반은 완성하고 그 다음에 이제 앉아서 다 채우는 것 같아요.
Okay. So she doesn't, you will never really kind of see her like in a coffee shop, like, you know, being all missed, like right in front of her computer. She's not really like that. She loves to move around and walk around. So maybe in a car, maybe in a bus, maybe on a train while she's walking down. For NCT's track of Daydream, she apparently started finding herself following a pigeon, and she was just like, huh. And so she started kind of getting fixated on the kind of like Alice in Wonderland type of a feel, and then she was kind of thinking about it all day. And so for her, when she thinks of a concept, it kind of just sits in her head all day. And then what she does is she dives in, and then she kind of organizes her thoughts and then the lyrics a little bit later down the line. So with this, it looks like that a lot of our listeners, Emilita was asking this, Leon was asking this as well. How fast was the fastest lyric you've ever written? How long did it take to write the long, like which one took the longest?
The shortest is spoiler, Kai.
스포일러는
제가 감정 콘서트 앞두고 아주 급박하게 요청 들어온 거기도 해가지고 한 1절까지는 한 1시간 안에 써서 그냥 드렸던 것 같아요.
와, 후루룩.
네.
1절을 일단 1시간 안으로 후루룩 일단 먼저 보내고.
네.
와.
그리고 더보이즈의 버터플라이 같은 곡도 제가 데모를 한 20번, 30번 그 정도 안에 듣고 그냥 바로 보냈던 기억이 나요.
Okay. So for The Boys' Butterfly, about 20, 30 listens, and she was able to send it.
Nothing else.
It's not too much. And then on top of that, for Kai's, apparently it was right before the concert. They needed it like yesterday. And apparently whenever they're on a time crunch, they send it to her because I guess she's that person because she's so good. But anyways, so she was able to listen to the demo in about an hour, and she got the first verse out, and she was able to send it to them so that they can start working on it, and then she just kind of finished the song as well. But yeah, that's amazing. You cannot not just make that kind of stuff up. That's amazing. How can you do that? What about the longest? Because I know that people get writer's block, and like producers do this too. Has there been like a song where just like, no, go away, and then you leave it Which was the longest song that took?
그 엑소의 전야인 것 같아요.
전야요?
전야. 정말 유튜브에서도 그거 수정 엄청 많았다고 말했는데 그게 진짜 70%를 바꿔달라고 하시니까 어떻게 방향을 다시 잡아야 될지도 몰랐는데 근데 그건 또 제가 약간 저희 완전 초기작이거든요. 그리고 엑소랑 거의 처음 만난 작품이어가지고 그 팀의 색깔도 제가 막 그때 파악해야 되겠고 내가 정말
바빴죠.
네, 너무 이렇게 부담감, 불안함 이런 것들이 내가 정말 잘해야 되는데 이 사람들이 한테서 내가 막 더 이상 지망생이면 안 되고 정말 내가 딱 좋은 거 보여줘야 되는데 이런 저의 그런 뭐 미숙함이 오히려 지금 생각해 보면 한 30분 안에 수정할 걸 3시간 이렇게 끌었던 것 같고 근데 오히려 그렇게 더 많은 생각을 해서 더 많은 걸 넣을 수 있지 않았나 싶기도 하고
그리고 지금도 이제는 한 30분이면 쓸 수 있는 여유가 생긴 거겠죠. So apparently the longest song, and she's even posted this on her YouTube channel, but EXO's 전야, The Eve was one of those tracks. So there was a lot of edits for the lyrics of that song. But this was, I mean, in her own defense, it was kind of like in the beginning of her career. She still was trying to figure out like the individual members of EXO at the time. And so she was just busy. Like her mind was in chaos. Like she needed to figure out like the members. She needed to try to make it so that the members will stand out. She needs to try and make the lyrics sound better. But then when she received the first callback, they were just like, can you change about 70% of the song lyrics? And she just like, okay. And so she feels now with her just criteria and like all of the things that she's been able to do, she can probably do it within like 30 minutes. But at the time it took like 3 hours and more so because she had just a lot of thing on her shoulders. There was a lot of pressure going on at the time too. But I was saying that now she is able to go through all of that and be a better lyricist. So as you've been continuing to write and do lyrics and stuff like that, when did this come in? Because a lot of our listeners have been asking this too as well. When did you feel you had the calling to be a lyricist? Aimlito was asking this as well. 언제쯤 노래에 나오는 작사는 내 거였으면 좋겠다라고 생각을 하셨나요?
어떤 한 특별한 노래예요? 아니면
아니 뭐 상관없어요. 뭐 중학교 때 갑자기 어떤 노래를 듣고 생각이 났어요? 아니면 어떤 노래를 들었는데 너무 안 좋아서 이 가사를 이렇게밖에 못 썼나 싶어서 썼을 수도 있고
그런 거보다는 제가 진짜 대학교 가서 여러 가지 일을 해봤는데 제가 꿈이라고 생각했던 것들이 진짜 실무를 해보니까 너무 생각했던 건 다른 거예요. 그래가지고 금방 퇴사할 것 같고 제가 또 조직 생활이랑 너무 안 맞고 해서 좋아하는 일을 그러면은 일로 만들어 볼까 하다가 찾다가 이제 막상 또 이제 해봐야지 알겠다 하고 작사를 이제 해봤는데 그 순간 너무 재밌는 거예요. 제가 너무 즐기고 있고 그래가지고 또 이제 그것들을 해보다가 보니까 너무 잘 여기까지 온 것 같아요.
Okay. So yeah, she went to college. She did everything, you know, the typical, like, I'm going to go to college. I'm going to have this major. But she realized that as everything was starting to, like, go into simulation, she was just like, ugh, I don't think I'm going to be able to do this. So she's like, no, I don't think I'm going to do well in this company. No, I don't think I'm going to work well with these individuals. And so she's like, maybe making something that I like and enjoy being my job could be something that she could see in the future. And so she started writing lyrics and she realized it was so much fun and it was just completely up her alley. And here we go. So a lot of our listeners, Aimlita is also asking for any new lyricists. Like, how does one become a lyricist? 많은 분들이 있는 분들만 가사를 쓸 수 있고 뭐 이미 데뷔하신 분들만 계속 찾을 거다 이런 생각도 할 수도 있을 것 같고 아니면 뭐 요즘은 가수 연습생 뭐 지망생처럼 나도 어딘가에 지원을 해서 연습생을 할 수 있다 뭐 이런 것도 혹시 있는 건가요?
작사가를 연습생으로 받아주는 그런 경우는 진짜 없는 것 같고
그렇죠.
네, 저 같은 경우에는 그런 비슷한 어느 한 회사에서 직원도 아니고 작사 연습생도 아니고 그런 경우가 있긴 있었거든요. 저는 그렇게 데뷔를 했는데 요즘 많은 경우에 되게 학원을 통해서 데뷔하시는 것 같더라고요. 학원이
있어요?
네, 학원이 있어요.
뭐든지 학원이 있는 것 같습니다. 잘 찾아보면. 뭐 사실 뭐 유튜브를 하고 계시긴 한데 사실 하고 계시는 유튜브들이 왠지 그런 뭐 학원들에서도 뭐 가르칠 것 같기는 하지만 결국에는 그냥 지금까지 해오셨던 노하우를 알려주는 거잖아요. 그러면 지금 케이팝을 너무 사랑하고 있는 외국 청취자분들이 아무래도 이제 뭐 가사를 지금이라도 당장 쓰고 싶다 하면 빈 종이 위에는 어떤 식으로 쓰는 게 좋은 걸까요? 약간 형태를 만약에 생각을 한다면?
일단 그 음절 따는 거가 기본이 되어 있어야 되는데 그런 테크닉들은 좀 배울 만도 한 것 같아요. 학원에서도. 배울 만도 테크닉이 진짜 필요하다. 아까 발음을 정말 잘 붙이려고 한다거나 일단 누가 부를 수 있는 내가 부를 거 아니라 남이 그걸 딱 보고 부를 수 있는 노래를 부르려면 그냥 기본적으로 일할 수 있게 테크닉은 필요한 것 같고 그 플러스로는 그냥 좀 자유롭게 해보고 싶다라고 하면 진짜 많이 듣고 내가 한국말로 자연스럽게 어떤 말이 나오는지 그냥 뭐 그냥 팝송 위에다가 한국말로 아무거나 해보면 된다. 혹은 외국인 분들이 들으시면 그냥 그걸 똑같은 음의 다른 내용으로 바꿔보시는 거 그냥 일단 해보시면
일단은 해보기.
네.
Okay, so she didn't necessarily go to like an institute or like a hagwon to learn how to do it. She was kind of like in between somewhere in the business of like writing lyrics and just in the business. And she was really lucky to debut like that. But she's found that there's actual like hagwons or like after school classes that you can take to be a lyricist. And if you watch her YouTube channel, she does kind of teach like her like tidbits and like tips and stuff like that on like how to write lyrics. So for any of our foreign listeners, if you want to write lyrics now, she's saying that knowing how to grab the melody line and then try to find it as similar as possible with like pronunciations and stuff like that. She says that would be actually some great practice. So if you're listening to a K-pop track and if you wanted to maybe first off start it off in maybe changing the lyrics to English first or your native language, paying attention to how that ends, like which pronunciation it ends in would also be helpful too. She feels that just like there's technical things to think about, but just trying it first. So anybody who is trying to write some lyrics or get into the system, trying it as well. So you did talk a little bit about it earlier, but you have a lot of things going on. So you on top of lyric writing, you got your YouTube channel, but you also got a contents company too. So let's talk a little bit about this. What inspired the company?
그거는 진짜 이 분야에서 있다 보면은 다들 뭔가 환경이 다 좋지는 않더라도 자기가 좋아해서 이 분야에 뛰어드는 천재들이 엄청 많잖아요.
그렇죠.
엄청 천재들이 많고 그분들의 열정이 너무 좋은데 이제 그 의뢰를 받아서 하는 일들 넘어서 그냥 좀 주체적으로 제가 그런 사람들을 제 놀이터 플레이그라운드에 넣어놓고 좀 초대해가지고 같이 좀 만들어낼 수 있는 좋은 것들이 없을까 하다가 근데 또 제가 작사가로서 배운 자질들이 기획 그리고 또 뭐 스토리텔링 이런 부분들에 좀 약간 자신이 있다라고 생각을 하니까 그런 스토리 부분부터 이제 시작을 하고 좀 많은 좀 재능 있는 분들을 초대해서 좀 재밌는 거 만들어 보자. 그리고 또 제가 처음에 말씀드렸다시피 운이 좀 되게 좋고 기회들을 뜬금없이 많이 봤는데 그래서 나중에는 내가 이런 것들 잘 만들어 놓으면 또 누군가가 나를 통해서 뭔가 할 수 있는 또 기회를 만들어 줄 수 있는 사람이 되면 어떨까 약간 그런 취지가 있었어요. 네네.
Okay. So she knows that there's tons of people in just like the world of entertainment, if we want to say it for the least amount of words. And she was saying that there's so much talent and there's so many geniuses out there, but a lot of times they're not as lucky as she was to get that kind of platform. So she really wanted to try to create a platform like this playground where she can just have these geniuses that don't have the roots or the, you know, the connections to get into the business and just to come and do what they do best and express themselves artistically. And so she's also, she's well known the fact that she has been extremely lucky in a lot of the processes that she's done. And she's hoping that her platform can maybe be a chance for some people to use her as a platform to get more jobs and to do that too. So that's how she kind of thought of actually starting the concept in general. Now I'm kind of curious as to the webtoon that's going on right now, and I really want to know, since you do speak a little bit of English, How would we translate this into English?
That's really hard part.
Because if I translate it directly, This Life's Terrorist is the only thing that I could come up with. But I think it needs a lot of explaining compared to the Korean title.
I don't know.
Maybe we should think about it.
Think about it
together.
more. Yeah,
think about
it took time.
Yeah. So there's a webtoon that she's behind right now, and it's 현생 퇴려범, right?
Right.
And like, just how is this just like a platform, like the result of all this playground platform, or were you already thinking about doing this?
이거는 그냥 그걸 하면서 처음으로 제가 해보자 하고 그러면 뭘 할까라고 할 때 제가 그때 당시에 팬분들에 대해서 되게 조사를 많이 한다고 했었잖아요. 그러니까 뭐 하다가 보니까 팬분들 반응도 보다가 근데 이게 너무 신기한 거예요. 저는 막 누군가 막 사람을 엄청 좋아할 수 있는 사람이 아니어가지고 일들을 그냥 일에 재밌는 일들을 막 빠져서 사는데 이제 그렇게 해서 제가 일하려고 찾는데 그분들은 너무 막
팬덤의 문화에
행복해하시고 너무 부러워서 이렇게 막 찾아보다가 근데 또 어떻게 주변에 아는 분이 또 제가 또 인복이 좋아서 아는 분이 또 홍마이신 거예요. 홍마라고 팬 중에서 사진 이렇게 찍으시는 분들. 그래서 언니한테 막 어떻게 하다가 그렇게 하게 됐어 물어보다가 너무 흥미로운 거예요. 그래서 제가 흥미로워한 지점이면 남들도 궁금해하겠다. 이걸 한번 만들어보자.
Okay. So, yeah, the drama, we're going to try to think about a perfect English title for this. Give us some time. But it's a webtoon, and the reason why she started it was because as she was doing homework for, the songs that she writes for all like the fandoms and whatnot, she was able to come across just the fandom itself. That whole culture is something that she just found so fascinating. So she had a friend that is actually, those the photographers of the fans. She was one of those, and so they just started talking about like fandoms and their love for somebody because she's never really been that type of a person. She falls in love with work, not really people. So that whole fandom thing was new to her, and so she's like, well, yeah, let's write about it and like let's do a webtoon about it. And so that's how it ended up starting, and it's still kind of going as well. What we're gonna do is take another quick song break. There's a lot more questions coming in that I wanted to ask, so let's take another quick breather and come back. Hyomin is singing Mango, and we'll see you guys after this. K-pop and fan, all Arirang radio listeners, we continue on with our insider for today, the beautiful and talented Hong Yubin is in the studio. She's a lyricist and also CEO of a content company, and wow, we're just learning so much amazing things about her today. So as we started the interview, a lot of our listeners have been noticing that a lot of their favorite songs have been written by her. The lyrics, at least. So it looks like a lot of you have been asking some similar questions. They kind of overlap. So Raul was asking, would you like to write an all-English song in the future? And Besby was also asking, have you written a song only using pure Korean without any English? So a little bit on the language aspect here. So first, would you like to write a full all-English song in the future?
That's what I want really right now. 저 정말 진짜 그러고 하고 싶어서. 네, 근데 최근에 또 우연한 기회를 만났기도 했고 아직 말하기는 좀 그렇지만 이것도 아주 옛날에 제가 피리 부는 사나이라는 OST 노래도 영어 버전 제가 다 쓰기도 했었거든요. 네, 앞으로 좀 그런 외국 가수분들과 작업 한번 해보고 싶어요.
Okay, so it's her dream. She would love to. She did do a few like all English lyrics in the past, but like her ultimate dream is to, do that in the future. Apparently she might be doing something now, but she can't say for secret perspective. But anyways, we might be seeing something in her name in English too. So what about just all in Korean? 혹시 그런 곡이 있을까요?
정말 이게 생각을 해봐도 뭐 진짜 스타킹이라는 또 들어가는 것 같다고.
진짜 한 단어라도 영어가 들어가긴 가죠. 근데 그게 작곡가분들의 때문에 좀 더 그렇게 되지 않는 건가요?
맞아요. 그러니까 베이베나
막 이런 게
꼭꼭
들어가잖아요. 오 마이 뭐 이런 거라도
맞아요.
들어가니까요. Okay, so yeah, she was saying that for Besby to ask your question, she's trying to think if there was like a song that she wrote all in Korean, but maybe it's because of like, due to the unfortunate fact that a lot of producers, like songwriters, they put like, oh yeah, oh baby, oh wow, beautiful, like there's a lot of those words that go into the guide itself or the demo. So she tends to kind of stick with those too. So like it's kind of hard to find. Leon was asking, is there any cases where a few companies want to write, they want the same song that you've written? So in this case, it would be you and a producer wrote a song. You put it out there, and at the same time, some companies wanted it at the same time. 혹시 뭐 먼저 곡을 써주세요라는 연락보다는 그냥 뭐 작곡가분이랑 아니면 뭐 이렇게 좀 아시는 분들이랑 해서 곡을 쓰고 올렸는데 이렇게 동시에 많은 회사들이 좀 몰려온 경우가 혹시 있었나요?
먼저 그냥 저 작사만 한다고 하면 그냥 다 정해지고 의뢰를 주시는 거라서 그런 경우가 없는데 주변에 진짜 같은 프로듀서님들이나 올리는 경우들이 있는데 막 동시에는 없었고 뭐 된 경우들은 옛날에 그 내일의 날씨라는 OST OST가 그런 식으로 다 같이 만들어서 판 적이 있었고 지금도 그런 작업들을 하고 있는 것 같기는 해요.
Okay. So yeah, she's never like been in the fact where like she wrote a song, everybody wanted it and all that. She did that in a similar process with a soundtrack, but other than that, it wasn't like normally when it comes to like lyricists, they have like a production team, a company is already ready to go and they need lyrics and so they'll reach out to her for the lyrics and so that's kind of how it goes. Nurse asking this and I'm kind of curious of this as well. You don't have to tell us how much you get per song, but how does the copyright system work at the moment? Because I feel that it's so complicated.
Right.
It's so complicated. So like how does this work? 일단은 작사가로 곡에 이렇게 등록이 되잖아요. 그럼 저작권이라든지 뭐 그 어떻게 되는 거예요?
저작권은 그 가지고 있는 한 곡에 가지고 있는 그 퍼센티지만큼 그냥 들어오는데 음반이 조금 팔렸을 때 저작권료가 많이 들려오고 그게 아직도 음원에서는 수익이 많지 않아서 아무리 그래서
스트리밍을 하고 다운을 받아도
큰 그게 아니라서 그냥 딱 음반이 발매된 그 시기에만 조금 많이 들어오는 편인 것 같아요.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
지금도 그렇다는 거잖아요. That's very interesting. Okay, so she does get a percentage of her sales for having her name on a song. And even now, when a world where streaming and download is more popular, she still gets paid for it, but a higher percentage actually comes in if the album sells. A physical album is sold is when she actually gets a higher percentage and how that falls, even though we stream like crazy. Hoping that this will help our artists and the people in the business.
YouTube is really 말도 안 돼. Nonsense.
Really? So fam, for those of you like myself who have been trying to support our artists and the producers and the lyricists by streaming and downloading their music, it's not really helping.
Yeah.
We need to buy the physical album. So just an FYI for all of us in the future. But that's good though, because physical albums are like gold. We love buying them because there's so many fun things in there. Now, I'm running out of time, but before we go today, I'm going to give you the platform to tell our listeners, go subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm going to let you do that. So we have to say goodbye, but I'm going to give you plenty of time to tell our listeners how to look out for you and maybe any spoilers of new songs coming out. So please tell us.
네, 알겠습니다. 제가 앞으로 이제 상반기에 했었던 여러 되게 재밌는 작품들이 많이 나올 것 같아요. 제가 이번에 좋은 기회로 그 세계관 만드는 작업 그리고 작사로 프로듀싱하는 작업들도 좀 했었고 그래서 그런 제가 좀 많이 참여하는 그런 앨범들도 나오고 또 여러 가지가 나올 예정이고요. 그리고 제가 준비했던 그런 어플리케이션이라던가 그리고 또 함께 만들고 있는 드라마, 웹드라마 같은 부분들도 이제 동시에 곧 나올 예정이니까 많이 봐주시고 그리고 결과적으로는 그런 아티스트들 노래 많이 사랑해 주시는 게 저한테는 제일 보람인 것 같아가지고 진짜요. 네, 그런 거 많이 해주시면 좋겠습니다.
Okay, so yeah, she's not giving us any names. Darn. But there's a few big albums that she's going to be a part of that we're going to be really excited about. So keep an eye out for that. She's got an app in the works as well that's going to be coming out soon too, a web drama as well. And just to remember that, don't forget to support the artist because in the end that also kind of helps her too. So thank you so much for joining us today on the insider, and hopefully we can see you back in the studio soon.
Oh, hopefully.
Hopefully. Thank you for joining us.
having me.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Sending her out of the studio is The Boys with Reveal, and we'll see you next time.